Hey, Gator Nation. Welcome to the Respect Our Decision Raw reaction for the Florida Gators spring game. Had a lot of things we didn't like, obviously, a lot of things we did like. And guess what? We got another big commitment on hand. We're going to talk about it all here very shortly. As always, guys, make sure you go out there and download us wherever you get your podcast from. And if you're watching us on YouTube and you haven't already subscribed, why not? Why haven't you subscribed, man? It's as good a time as any to subscribe. We just hit 500 subscribers yesterday, guys. We appreciate all of you that already have. And if you haven't already, now's the time, man. Smash that subscribe button and, hit that like and that notification bell so you get a notification every time we drop new content. Of course, we have the giveaway going this month for the hat that we've talked about every episode and we've posted on our social medias. So you want to make sure you're in there, man. Make sure, if you haven't already, drop a comment on the video as well. Let's try to set a goal for this video, man. 100 likes on the video.
Yeah.
We got 500 subscribers. Only takes, 20% of y'all to smash that like button on this. And guys, we want to announce, as we announced on our social media platforms today, that we have gone out and got ourselves aligned with, alma mater. That's not showing up now because my graphic has disappeared. So anyway, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you'll be all right with that. Live technical issues coming live right at us.
We're live, pal.
There we go, guys. Alma mater apparel in Gainesville, man. Fine Gator products, man. Like this hoodie I'm wearing right now. Lightweight hoodie, man. T-shirt material, feels good, would be good to work out in, go jog in. You can wear it right up until the summer. Heck, if you're a cold-blooded individual, you probably could wear it in the summer. Very, very comfortable. Very pleased with these products, guys. Watch for our links on all of our social media platforms. CJ's got a hat on right now that he got from Alma Mater. He's got the
old
hat
school. Old school's new again. Old school's new again. The rope hats, the golf hats, whatever you want to call them, the kind of vintage looking. It's got the blue one here. We've shown you guys the white one a lot. That's the one we're going to be giving away. And the giveaway, I've got it right here. It's a beautiful hat from our friends. It's got the Gator logo on the side of each one of these. They've got this one as well as in gray. But the blue one here is the one I'm rocking tonight with the old school Gator script on the front. It's very, very 90s, 80s Steve Spurrier, Charlie Pell-ish. I love it, man. I love the, old school is new again.
Yes, sir, man. So be on the lookout, guys, on our social medias, on our Facebook group, and on our Twitter page at Respect Our Decision DCN. For any links that we post, as we said, we've partnered with them to, help a great Gator business sell great Gator merchandise. So, be on the lookout, guys. This is fine quality products here. I can't recommend them enough. I'm very pleased with the ones that I've purchased. I know CJ loves his hats there. Always want to support those Gator businesses, man. So, guys, we're going to start right away. The big news. We've been hinting at it for a couple weeks now. Big-time safety. Xavier Filsaime is committed to the Florida Gators. This is a tremendous pickup for Billy Napier, Coach Corey Raymond. Best safety commit we've had in quite a while here. I mean, obviously, we know Kamari Wilson was a highly rated safety, got dunked down on right there close to signing day because he wouldn't do interviews and, stupid reasons why recruiting site. Hey, that's another shit. Man, what a great – he committed right there at halftime of the game. They had a little thing set up for him in the Heaver Center there, I believe it was. Did a commitment right there to a big party, had his family there. That's pretty awesome, man. You come halfway across the country to the spring game, commit there to a big party, new family and friends. Just another top-notch commit for that 2024 class that our man Wes, the hype man, has been just on the train for since last year. Wes, what do you think, brother?
This is CJ's guy. CJ's been on this guy for the longest, but how I feel about the 24 class, and this is another step. I sent it to you guys last night when we got them. This is the fourth recruit in the top 50 that we have in this class for the 24 class. My expectations of having a top uh, 5 class for this 24 class, and that's what I'm expecting. And this is another stepping stone to get. And then we got two Texas kids now. We have the quarterback in the class, and now we have the number. Is he the number 2 safety? I can't. Some services have the number 2s. I think one I saw he was number 4, but he was a borderline 5-star guy. Depending on what recruiting site that you look at. But to have him in the class, Hirsch mentioned it. We haven't had an elite safety this caliber. I know Kamari was rated very high as well. But to me, just getting a kid from out of Texas speaks to, again, I know we brought up Hamilton before, but Hamilton is putting in work. DJ is putting in work. Hopefully we get a third a guy from out of Tech, who I wanted as far as that rushing at the end, as far as Simmons. But I love this kid. I love what Raymond is doing. We talked about Raymond trying to wrap up his class early and getting it done. So to have a top 50 recruit in the class, the second overall recruit in our class, is just spectacular and special. And hopefully he can get his deserved 5-star rating, like we talked about with Hayes and Graham as well. So love those 4 guys at the top of our class right now.
Yeah, before we let CJ jump on the hype train, because I know he's very excited about this one. This is kind of a live breaking news right here about Xavier. I hadn't noticed this. Since he committed, he got a bump.
Oh,
wait a minute. What?
We're making a difference?
In the composite now, as of last night, Xavier Filsaime is the number 36 prospect in the country.
Uh-oh.
That must be an error in the matrix or something. They're going to have to wash the servers or something.
Yeah, somebody will wake up. Somebody will wake up here shortly and go ahead and
CJ, hype the man up. I know you're excited.
I love Xavier Filsaime. Turn on the film, watch him. He's an old school safety. Man loves contact. He wants to hit somebody. Kind of in the vein of the guys that we used to see running around here, the Keanu Neals of the world, the Marcus Mays of the world, the Major Wrights of the world, Reggie Nelson, just all these guys that we used to love to watch run around here and just knock heads off. I'm excited for it. The dude has shown he's a ball hawk. The guy gets after it. He doesn't take plays off. He's a downhill kind of player. Just a great kind of throwback safety player where he's just looking to make a play, a big play. He's got incredible film. I think he's probably, to me, from what I've seen, I think he's the best safety in the country coming out. I don't care about the number 2 rankings. I don't give a crap. You put him wherever you want to put him. But me, watching his film, I think he's the best safety we've got in the country. I think that this is a massive get. This is going to be a kind of guy who has potential to be an All-American. He's got that kind of athlete all over him. Things happen, and you can't predict the future. But right now, if you were to ask me, I truly believe this kid will have a break outside the stadium. I think he's that kind of player. I think he's an insane athlete that just gets it. And then you've got a guy like Corey Raymond who's only going to make him better. And then too, we talk about like all the other safeties on the board. Looks like we're getting ready to flip this room completely compared to where we were, where you had a bunch of guys that were running like 4.8s playing safety that really couldn't get back there to it. So you're having a difficulty playing the front end of the game because your back end isn't being able to keep up with those receivers. So now you're starting to see guys come into the safety room that can definitely make plays on the back end. And Xavier Filsaime is like the coup de grace. I mean, this guy is going to be massive for us. I am super excited to see him when he gets here.
Yeah, man. Like you said, we're really flipping the rooms all the way around. And if there was one great takeaway I had from the spring game, and I don't want to take too much away from our reaction here we're about to give, is that the young guys that this staff evaluated looked really good on the field last night. So that's just one thing that I was very excited about and looking forward to see going farther. We've heard there could be a couple other commits on the horizon. We don't have a timetable on that right now, but man, the staff is doing work. This is the hottest start in Gator recruiting since I don't even remember when. Coach Raymond is about to have his class sewed up, real quick so he can help Rob Sale do a little recruiting, I'm thinking. So maybe we can get some elite offensive linemen in here. I hate to get Wes all riled up like that, but Coach Raymond is doing the damn thing. That's all there is to say about that. We won't go any further into it for now. I'm excited. So without any further ado, then, guys, we're going to jump right into it. Raw reaction time, man. We're going to start and go around kind of the room here and talk about what we liked and what we didn't like, and just, give it a little banner about what we'd like to see going forward. Wes, you want to start us off, man? What did you like last night and what didn't you like?
Well, what I did like was I go after rewatching, and I know I personally thought the defense would have been a little laid back, playing safe, and I thought they were doing a lot of blitzing, but it was a lot of 4-man rushes. It was just scheme of what Armstrong was doing, and we heard about his energy through reports and from insiders and different things, talking about how energetic this guy was, calling him a young Kirby, etc. I loved what the defense was doing as far as doing different things on the as far as scheming wise, as far as blitzing, different ways, and it's still being just 4 guys rushing. We know Tony said that he didn't blitz a lot, but it seemed like very very vanilla things, that it was just basic 4-man rushing. So to see him be creative with how those 4 guys are rushing that gave our offensive line issues last night was very, very entertaining. Even him talking to Mertz on the sideline, that was someone I saw. Even though he's a defensive coach, he was still in tune with what the offense was doing and pumping Mertz up. And I love that. I know I sent you guys that when we were watching the game last night, that I love that he's engaged with the offense as well. Also, to speak about some negative. I know fans want to know. It was the offense, as far as the offensive line, and we had some guys out, and that's what I want people to temper and understand, that the offensive line was uh, spaced out. Harris didn't play. I know we has had some stats with the center, and that was one of my things that I wanted to see clean football, and we didn't see clean football from the offensive line. A lot of that started with the center, and y'all know how I was about the center problem last year with Kingsley, and it seems like we don't have any backup. The backup center, which was I think it was Kearney was playing back
Kearney.
last night, and he had a little bit of issues with the snap. That's not his natural position. So hopefully, I know we're going to talk about the portal maybe later and some things going there, but we need a backup center maybe if Harris. I don't know. I don't think he's out for any long period of time, but he is our backup center. But he is a true freshman at the same time. So I had a lot of problems with the snapping of the ball, made it harder for our quarterbacks. And again, if you watch the press conference or heard about it after the game, fans, this was very vanilla offense. I want you guys to understand that we're playing Utah week 1. Billy Napier is not going to put anything out there that Utah can take and say, "Oh, we're going to scheme for this." That's just not going to happen. And to me, it was more about our defense doing things and coming along with the new defensive coordinator more than me worry about offense. Mertz was fine. He wasn't spectacular, but if our defense can be what we what we hope in year 2 our defense can be, and we know where we can run the ball, we don't need Mertz to be spectacular. So that's what I took away from it.
Definitely. Yeah, like you said about the offensive line, there was some things to be alarmed about, but not too much. Like, it was a patchwork offensive line. Like we said, Kingsley not playing. It's just, we'll get to all that. I know CJ has some things you want to put out there. CJ, what was your takeaways from this contest?
I saw a lot of great things from a lot of great players. I saw a lot of stuff the young wide receivers really getting involved, like Andy Jean and Aiden Mizell, Arliss Boardingham making plays, a great catch on the sideline that he had. There was a lot of things there. I'm not really worried about Mertz. I mean, you look at his stat line. He completed 64% of his passes. He had 240 yards. He threw a touchdown. It is what it is. I mean, and two, everybody was worried about his pocket presence. I'm like, guys, they're playing a two-hand touch. He can't get touched, so he's got to roll out. He's got to run. I mean, it's not like he can just stand there and let hands put on him because, I mean, then he's down. So he's got to roll out, try to make a play because they're trying to run things. And once these things like progress, there are certain routes that they're going to run that are just designed for one receiver because they want to see how he does in his progression there and runs his route. So there's a lot of that's going to be in there. Not worried about the offensive line as much. Not this, especially the center spot. You don't have your starting center. Then Najee doesn't play, so you don't have your backup center. Then you have Rod, who's just a guard. He's never really played center. He's going to have to learn. Luckily, when it comes to snapping the ball, that's all repetition. The more you do it, the better you get at it. I remember watching early on in 2010, watching Pouncey snap the ball all over the place, and it rolled down the field, and nobody here thinks that Pouncey was a bad center. He learned, he played, and he was an all-pro in the NFL. So you're going to have to learn. He's going to have to snap the ball. If that's what they want him to do, he'll just work on that. I love the play by the defensive backs. They were super aggressive. I love no free yards. So guys, when guys would run like a play that was like, hey, we might get a pass interference or two here or there, but it ain't going to come easy. We're not going to leave you open. We're not going to let you just catch a wide open pass. We're going to kind of muscle you up a little bit, be aggressive. You saw guys that they would get beat, so they just go hit the receiver. Instead of giving up a big long throw, they give up 15 yards. So that's kind of what I'd like to see more of is hey, we got beat, not just like giving up on a play, being aggressive. We saw the front line absolutely maul people. The young guys that we brought in, Caleb Banks looked good. Cameron Jackson looked good. Big Dez played good. Pyburn came around the edge and made a play. The linebacker crew, my man Jaden Robinson out there making plays, dude, in coverage. Love to see that. The only real concern I have is the kicking game. The kicking game scares me to death because I'm afraid the way our offense is and the way we're going to be set up, there might be a lot of times this year we're going to need to kick field goals. And right now, it does not look like we have a reliable kicker. Now, he could get better in the summer. He hit the last one to kind of get some of his confidence back. But that's the one thing that really would worry me coming out of the spring game.
All great points. I had noted about the kicking game as well. You see Smack miss one and get one block. Then he hits an absolute bomb down the pipes, for the quote unquote win. Is there pressure on that kick? No, not really. I mean, other than, hey, I might not win this job if I don't start making some of these.
Yeah.
But to go back on some of the things you said, Wes hit on the offensive line. We talked a little bit about it. Good takeaways. The young guys look phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You mentioned Jaden Robinson. That was one of my highlighted guys. Tackling, shooting the A gap on a blitz right there early in the game, making plays in coverage. This is a guy that hadn't been on campus very long, and he wasn't highly ranked as some of the other guys in our class were. He was a late take after we missed some other targets. And this is a kid that 2 years ago was playing safety, so he can cover. He just outgrew the position. I'm not saying he's Brian Urlacher reinvented or anything like that, but Brian Urlacher was safety and outgrew it and made a pretty damn good linebacker. That's the kind of transition some of these kids can make. Another guy, Andy Jean, man, getting the ball in space and making plays. He had a screen play where he took the ball, avoided a tackle, shook some ankles and got positive. I think he got a first down on that play. Caught another one on a sit down in the middle of the field. Just, you'll love to see it. You mentioned Cam Jackson. Cam Jackson is going to make money one of these days, because that young man is an animal. Caleb Banks as well. We got us 2 real ones on the interior defensive line in Banks and Jackson. Let me talk a second about a man that Cam Carroll is a full-grown man-child. If you didn't watch the game, or maybe you've only saw some highlights, Cam Carroll might be the best number 3 running back in the country. Out there hurdling guys, in the spring game, showing, hey, my knee is healthy. I'm ready to go. And I'm going to challenge for some playing time. One of you guys, we know Johnson and NTN are beasts, but hey, y'all better not be slipping, because Cam Carroll's going to grab some carries off of you.
Yeah, definitely.
Quarterback battle, like you said, Graham Mertz. Did he wow you? No. Were you concerned after watching? Probably, because that's what we do. We overreact to things like this. I tell you this, I have no doubts that he's secured the job as the number 1 quarterback. Jack Miller, while he made some throws, took some really risky chances, threw some balls into coverage that were very reminiscent of the last few quarterbacks to come through town. Reminded me of some Emory-type throws. Coverage was there, and he was like, hell with it, I'm throwing it anyway. Max Brown, while his arm is lively, it looks like it might just be a little too lively. Anytime he took a shot anywhere past 20 yards, he overthrew his receiver by a good 8 to 10 yards. I know he's athletic, but there's a reason he's down there taking lower snaps right now. I mean, it's just the staff sees it every day. I love the kid. I love his work ethic. I just don't think I don't personally think he'll ever take a snap at the University of Florida. Just my personal takeaway. Guys, it is what it is. It's a spring game. And what do the Florida Gator fans do? We overreact. Oh, my God. How do we only score 17 points in a spring game?
The lowest scoring spring game in the history of Florida
because
football.
This is who Billy Napier is. He's not out there to impress you. Whether you like it or not, you might say, well, that's a bad way to be. I mean, we're the fans. We pay for tickets and all that. Billy Napier's plan is not spring game 2023. Billy Napier's plan is, I want to be in the playoffs 2024, 2025, and I've got to get this roster right. And that means we got to get some guys in here that can play ball. And you're seeing it, but they're young. They're going to make mistakes. Now, I will say this, man, and I've hyped it for a few weeks now. Austin Armstrong is a winner. That dude is hyper. He is excited. He's got that young passion that Muschamp had when he was a defensive coordinator. When when he got the nickname Boom, he's out there yelling, cussing. You see him, aha, on these guys on the sideline.
Shuffle.
Yeah. I mean, he's a competitor, man, but his kids are feeding off of it, and you can see it on the field. Wes brought it up about the 4-man blitzes, but the offense didn't know where they were coming from. Usually in a spring game, your thing is, oh, don't blitz. Austin Armstrong came out and said, guess what, baby? I'm here. And my defense is not going to get – this ain't the 3rd and Grantham BS and all that kind of stuff. Y'all aren't going to be saying that ish about me, because we're going to bring the heat and we're going to be excited. And, I'm for it, man. Yeah. I'm excited to see good hustling defense. That's one of the things I wanted to see. I wanted to see a better communication out of the defense. I wanted to feel like our defensive backs played better, and to me, they did. Now, I saw some people saying, God, do our defensive backs know how to turn around? You're talking about Jakeem Jackson out there in his first live performance in the swamp. And Marcus Burks made the circus catch around his back because he didn't turn. These guys are young, man. They got to get their timing down. They will. That's why they're not the starters right now.
Even on that catch, if we're going to talk about it, What else?
It took a ridiculous catch.
What else is Marcus Burke gonna? I mean, like, what's Jakeem Jackson gonna do at that point? How many receivers in the country are making that catch consistently? Because I don't think Marcus Burke could do that catch again. I think that's his one and done.
That catch is on Sports Center every 5 years.
Yeah, like that's just that's no.
And even with the Aiden Mizell, I think he held Mizell once on a route, and we didn't talk about Mizell yet, but that kid is
CJ
fast.
CJ brought him.
Oh, you did, CJ. My bad.
Fast.
I didn't hear my bad.
To steal a line from the longest yard. He's so fast. He makes fast people look not fast.
Not so fast. We get it. He's fast.
So we hope a lot of DBs have trouble with somebody the caliber. That's why we hyped up Mizell, Eugene Wilson, and Andy Jean in the class. We have elite receivers. So when it comes to spring games and you have one side going against the other side, stuff is good. You don't know what to be positive about, because you're gonna have
Think about what you just said, though, Wes.
Somebody's got to lose, guys.
Yes.
You talk about Mizell and you talk about Gene. Eugene Wilson hadn't even got on campus yet. He might be better than those guys. Now, given what I've seen from Andy Jean, he got to be really good, because Andy Jean is a dude. CJ said it before we started recording. See, Andy Jean is a dude. And that cat right there is going to play this year. I'm not saying he's going to put up 1,000 yards or something crazy, but he's going to make a couple plays this season. We're like, that's a freshman.
Yes.
That is a true freshman. And guess what? If you're having quarterbacks that aren't going to make amazing plays, and guess what? Graham Mertz is not going to make amazing plays. I'm not going to say he might not make a throw sometime this season like, wow. But on the whole, Graham Mertz is not going to make amazing plays. You know who is going to make amazing plays? Kids like Andy Jean, and that is a quarterback's best friend. Get it into your playmakers' hands and let them do work.
Soon as
saw
possible.
That last night.
Exactly.
We saw Pearsall go up and get one last night. We saw Mizell come back for one. We saw Arliss Boardingham make a toe tap catch on the sideline. These guys are basically what we've all said. We just get a quarterback who can just get it in the vicinity and let them make a play. We'll be in pretty good shape.
Ball receivers in space, man. Let's see it.
Exactly.
Deliver the ball to them. Now, granted, the offensive line is still going to have to sell us. Like, we're going to have to see them as it gets into the fall. We're going to have to see 5 guys take hold of that line and gel it together. That it's going to be a concern until we see it with our own eyes. You're replacing a lot of snaps on that offensive line. I mean, Ethan White gone, Troutwine gone, Osiris gone. I mean, I'm forgetting left tackle.
Garage
gone. I mean, that's a lot of experience gone that you have to replace. So
Barber flipping, and Barber's flipping from right tackle to left tackle. So that's a new position for him.
If you weren't able to catch Billy's press conference after the game, Billy did say, hey, we're not at 85 players. The spring portal opens up Saturday, and we're going to be open for business. So we're not done molding this roster into what we're going to see going into fall camp. There's, we've still got a few. Dejon Johnson's not on campus yet. Eugene Wilson is not on campus yet. So Billy said we're going to – I saw this too. Billy said we were going to add another quarterback to the room. Guys, I don't want people to go out there and get their hopes up that we're shopping for another portal quarterback. I don't believe that's what it is. We talked about it, and I'm going to keep this because I want people to keep a level head. We talked about it from the minute Austin Simmons committed that he may be reclassifying to the 23 class. I'm not saying it's happening yet. It's never done until all the paperwork is submitted and he's cleared to do so. But I believe right now that is who Billy is referring to. So don't go looking at the portal list and seeing what quarterbacks are out there going, oh, we should go get him or we should go get him, because most likely it's not happening right now. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of that news, and I know somebody's going to listen and be like, well, Billy doesn't want to win then. Look, I've said it before. I've said it again. We've all talked about it. This year ain't the year Billy's playing to be winning the East or anything like that. Billy's trying to improve this football team to make a long-term powerhouse out of, not a 2023 powerhouse out of. It sucks. We want to be the University of Florida, man. We want to win every single season. We want 10, 11, 12 victories. That's what our goal is. And it should always be.
But fans have to understand, and we've said this multiple times, and I know we have some new listeners. Our program was bad when Billy arrived here. I don't think and like you said, we consider ourselves the University of Florida, and we are the University of Florida, and we should be in contention every year, and we will get back to that eventually. But we were bad, guys. Like the program was broken. In the words of Urban Meyer when he left here, and he said, "I know shouldn't bring up Urban Meyer, but we were broken." When Dan Mullen left here, he left a broken program, and it's not going to change overnight with all these new things with NIL and dealing with that and trying to get recruiting back. We are not were 15 years ago. We're not that program anymore. So we have reputation of it, and the fans still want it, and we deserve it, and I want it too. I'm not saying it. I'm hard on the staff. I'm hard on the offensive line coach. I think they need to do better. But this program was broken, and it's going to take a good foundation to build it back up, and that's what Billy's trying to do. And I'm patient enough to know that I need that build back up by him taking his time, getting a solid foundation, building the culture the right way, and then we'll have the program that we want for that'll last us the next 10, 15 years. We if we want that, be patient.
Yeah, there was a lot of rot in the program. And you've had like the last three coaches kind of come in and just paint over the rot, right? So they would just come in and if you paint over rust, the rust is going to come back through every time. It ain't gonna. You might not see it for like a little while because you look at what McElwain did, you look what Muschamp did, you look what Dan Mullen did. They had some successful seasons, but they never addressed the rot, and it's painful when you start to really peel back the layers and you really start to realize, man, this thing is bad, and it's going to be painful watching it. It's going to be hard to do, and you guys are going to have to take your medicine. We don't want to.
Deep.
You don't. I know you don't want to take the medicine. I don't want to take the medicine. It tastes like S. I don't want it. But I'm telling y'all right now, you better start to eat crap and learn to like the taste of it because we're going to have to eat a lot of it to get back to where we want to be. Because you've got a lot of guys that had to get culled out. You're starting 2 years behind when Billy got here. So you had to take a year to flesh out the rot. Now you got to take a year to build back. And then the next year, maybe we can start seeing some real progress. But right now, guys, there's just a lot wrong, and you've got to fix it. And we brought in a bunch of talented players, and our composite is going to say we're really talented. You know what they are? A bunch of talented freshmen. A freshman is still a freshman. He might wow you. He might show you a lot of stuff. He's still got a lot to learn. So you're going to have to be patient.
You nailed it, brother. I can't say it any better than that. Like you said, when the rust is there, man, you got to sand the damn thing down and
sometimes you just got to get rid of it. Sometimes you got to cut it out.
Guys, before we jump, final thoughts.
That was well said.
That was well said. Final thoughts from the spring game, Wes.
Yeah, my final thought is as much as I love offense, me being a former defensive player and me knowing what, even with McElwain years, and we had a championship defense throughout the time, and I miss that. I'm happy with Armstrong. I'm happy with what I saw as far as the multiple ways he got pressure. That was good. I got to bring up, and I didn't bring it up in my first a reaction, but CJ's boy Jaden Robinson was special. I see special written. He flashed. We didn't bring up Caleb Banks. I don't think he did some nice things out there. The defense in whole, we talked about how deep the defensive line was earlier in some other previous podcasts. That defensive line and the bodies we're going to be able to rotate in and out. And Kelby Collins looks like who we hoped he would look like. That guy is going to be special as well. So Hurst just talked about those freshmen and how they're going to be developed. Those are the guys that are going to 2 or 3 years from now, when we in it, their junior class with DJ Lagway, Austin Sims coming in at the quarterback position. I love where this program is heading. I love seeing those guys flash on defense and just be in the right place and doing the right things. And shout out to Bateman as well. We didn't talk about. I sent this to you guys. He's the number 3 recruiter in the country right now. So we saw what he did with Bernie and how he elevated him. So now we talked about, can he get the guys in, because he missed a lot last year. Shout out to Bateman as well, with finding Jaden Robinson, flipping him from South Carolina last year, because he's going to be a special kid.
CJ?
I think that I'm going to sum it up this way, and I'm going to put it very blunt. We didn't come away last season complaining about our offense. We wanted to see the defense fix itself. Billy Napier made a statement in the spring game, hey, here's your damn defense. Okay? That's what this was. Here's your damn defense back. Are you going to make a statement? We're not going to worry about this offense stuff. You guys want to see me fix the defense? You want to see somebody come in here with a lot of energy, fix this defense? This is what we're going to get. It might not have been flashy. It might not be what you're used to. You're used to Dan Mullen bringing back guys off the bench and letting Felipe Franks throw 60-yard bombs to fans like Make-A-Wish kids or whatever. This wasn't about us. This is about recruiting, and it's about development, and that's what we saw. And if you don't like it, then I don't know what to tell you. You know, you might like it when we start to win, and you might see the really the point of it then. I think that's the main thing that I've taken away from this. Let these guys do what they're doing. I can see things changing every day, putting us in the right direction. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to let this play out. You know, when things start to go bad and I really realize they're going bad, I'll be the first one to say it. But guys, these guys need some time. We just need to calm down, let these guys work. Let's get through the summer. Let's add some guys through the portal, whatever we need to do, the gaps. Let the young guys get as much experience as they can, and really show us why they were brought in.
Yeah, man, I hate to break this record, but guys, Billy said it the first day he was here. You're not going to like me sometimes. You're not going to understand what I'm doing. Be patient. Guess what? Gator fans, we ain't patient. We know that. It is what it is. I know what some of us are, some of us aren't. Hey, I complain about things just like every other person does. But here's what I can do. I can sit back and I can watch that game last night and go, wow, all those kids that they brought in that this staff recruited and is coaching from scratch really look good. Cameron James, TJ Searcy looks like we didn't hardly even mention TJ Searcy. TJ Searcy looks like he's going to be a real one too. I mean, these are all kids that have just stepped on campus. They've got a few weeks of practice under their belt, and they're already showing their athleticism on the field. Give them all summer and then into fall practice and then some actual games. What are they going to look like a year down the road when they're seasoned veterans? And that's what he's building to, is stockpiling this team with talent that is coached correctly, that is given the fundamentals. We've seen what kids under his tutelage and the tutelage of his staff can do. Montrell Johnson, Osiris, you know, the best players we had last year. A year of Trevor Entienne group came up under this staff. Give them time, guys. Yeah. Yes. Give them time, guys. It's going in the right direction. It may not look like that on a spring game on April 13th of 2023 with a whole bunch of guys that are getting their first snaps in and, you know, not everybody playing, and a quarterback that we did not expect to be our quarterback, you know, 6 months ago. But give it time. Let this man coach. Let his staff coach. Let them continue to recruit kids like we just got. Xavier Filsaime, DJ Lagway, Miles Graham, Darius Hayes, all these guys top 60 players with more to come. I mean, you just got to do it, man. What choice do you have right now? I mean, if you don't want to watch Gator football, then that's your choice. But at the end of the day, we know you're going to watch. Come on.
There you go.
Come on, you're going to watch. So you can either watch it pissed off that we're not maybe doing what we want to happen this year, or you can look at it and say, these guys are growing, man. I see the direction. I see what we're trying to do here. I also understand that young guys are going to make mistakes on the way. So maybe we ought to, oh, man, Andy Jean dropped the pass. Well, he's a freshman.
Just remember Keanu Neal and Marcus May struggling against Alabama that year.
Yes, there's a good example. But, I mean, and not to say what we got on the field is May and Neal, but they got to play to get experience and to get coached up, and these guys got to play together to it's a process.
You got to start somewhere.
And it's frustrating. I get it, man. I didn't watch that game going, good Lord, we're almost there. No, I didn't. I watched that game going, man, we got a ways to go. But talent is on the field. Defense is playing aggressive and hustling to the ball and making tackles. I mean, hey, there weren't a whole lot of long runs, and we know we got good running backs. 3 of them. 4 really. Treon Webb looked really good last night too.
Yeah, he did. He showed
so,
some
I mean, there's another young player. And that kid's going to have to play next year. Not maybe this season, but the season after, Treon Webb's going to be on the field. So, guys, I'm not here to tell you don't be frustrated all the time, but I'm just here to tell you to be a little patient, just like Billy Napier told you from the first day you got here. Let's see what happens in the fall. Let's see what players get added in this portal, and let's see this 2024 class continue to really grow and get more talent to come to Gainesville so that this isn't a short-term fix. It's a long-term fix and gets the Gators where they're supposed to be year in and year out. Guys, we appreciate you turning in, man. Like I said, this is just our raw reaction and our thoughts. Your thoughts may be completely different, and that's fair. That's what makes us fans, man. We all have our own opinion. We all have our own voice. You may not like our voice. You may say, man, y'all are wrong. And that's fine, man. That's what we're here for. But as always, guys, we respect your decision. You got to respect our decision. That's what it's all about. So, guys, we will catch you next week. Make sure you tune in later this weekend for our Pod of the People. We'll be up on YouTube as well. And if you haven't already, like we said at the top of the show, man, this is a great time. We're growing quick. Don't be last to the party. Subscribe to the channel. Jump on board. Make sure you leave a comment and drop a like and be in the register for that free hat that we're giving away. Guys, you got anything you want to add before we jump?
Buy the merch.
Buy the merch.
Our friends at Alma Mater. Sure. Buy the merch. Don't give those other guys your money. Give the guys that are just like us, the fans.
Yes.
This Gators. Is fan wear designed by Gators.
I can tell you right now, boy, I'm wearing this shirt and I'm loving it, man. This is better. This is as good as anything I've ever got from Fanatics. And let me tell you, I placed this order on Thursday and it was at my door on Monday. Them jokers were quick.
Yep.
And make sure they got to hit that link.
Use our link.
Use our links. It'll say it'll have Hershey in the link, man.
Leave reviews on the website. Tell them we sent you.
Tell them respect our decision sent you. All right, guys. We will catch you on the next one, man. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
Go Gators.